7, and we are going to solve some more quadratics both by factoring and by using the quadratic formula. So this is going to be a pretty quick video tonight. Just going to show you one of each more, because the more you hear it, the more you do it, the better you're going to get. So tonight I really want you to take into account what I've told you before is to pause it, since there's nothing new tonight. So I want you to pause it at the beginning of every problem and try to work it by yourself. And when you get stuck, you can play it a little further to get yourself unstuck, then pause it again. And I want you to get to the point where you can do all of these on your own, okay? So let's get started. The first one, I want us to solve by factoring, okay? And we got a little bit bigger numbers. It's okay, not a big deal. Let's multiply the front and the back number. So we get negative 360. Okay? So using, give me 2 seconds, I'm going to go ahead and start my calculator because I want to show you something. Whoops. Using our little formula chart, I know that a negative product and a negative sum mean I have a positive times a negative, with my negative being the bigger number. There's a lot of different things that can multiply to be 360. We can start with 36 and 10. That's 26, so let's try that again. I can do 180 times 2, but negative 180 plus 2, that's not going to cut it. What else? Let's see. So these big numbers are sometimes kind of hard to find all the factors to, because they've got a lot to them. So what you can do is you can take your calculator and add a graph. Okay? I'm trying to come up with the factors of 360. So I'm going to divide that by x, and I've shown you this before. And then we do Control T, and it pulls up a table. So 3 times 120, 4 times 90. None of these are sounding like I'm going to get 2, so I keep going, need bigger numbers. 10 and 36 we already tried. I'm trying to find some that are 2 different. Ooh, 18 and 20, that sounds good. So if I do 20 and 18, hey, looky there, we got us a winner. So I'm going to write out my factors. X plus 18, x minus 20. Okay. And as we're working this, following our steps, we know the next step is to divide by 4, or our front number. Okay? Then we reduce the fractions, so x equals, oops, not x equals, sorry. X plus 9 over 2. And that's going to be times x, sorry, my computer's freezing, x minus 5. Okay? We don't like fractions. We need to get rid of them, so I'm going to multiply by this denominator. So I get 2x plus 9 and x minus 5. Okay, I'm done factoring, but I don't know the solutions yet. So I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to say, okay, 2x plus 9 has to equal 0. Okay? So then I subtract the 9, because we're trying to get x by itself. I get 2x equals negative 9. Then I divide by the 2, just like old times. X equals 9/2. Okay? Then I have to take x minus 5. Set it equal to 0. Add 5. Add 5. X equals 5. So that is doing it by factoring. On the test that we're going to take with this chapter, I have to make you use one of each one, and then I can give you a bunch of problems where you just do it. Okay? Alright. So moving on, I want you to solve this one using the quadratic formula. Now remember, on any quadratic problem, if we're solving it, everything has to be on the same side. So I need to subtract this 14. Okay, there's no other regular numbers over there, so this is not a like term with anything, so I just tack it on the end. So x squared minus 5x minus 14 equals 0. Okay? So then we will find our a, b, and c. So a is 1, because that's the coefficient of x squared. b is negative 5, that's the coefficient of x. And negative 14 is c, because that is where, that's our regular number. Okay. So I'm going to write the quadratic formula over here. Negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So now I'm going to make blank parentheses, okay? This is a step that some of you are trying to skip, and it's going to make you end up making a mistake. So make sure you do this part, please. Alright, so we got b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Okay, so b is negative 5. So I'm going to put that there. A is 1. C is negative 14. And a is 1. Now, I just start simplifying everything. There's really no set steps that you have to do. But usually what I do is I go through here and go ahead and fix this one sign. So I know this is a positive 5, plus or minus. I keep the square root. Go ahead and do this number squared, which would be positive 25. Make sure when you do this one that you actually put the parentheses when you put it in your calculator. Any number squared should be a positive number. And then negative 4 times 14, negative 14. See, I'm going to pull up the quick calculator here. So I have to wait. Let's see. 4 times 14, 56. Okay. So, whoop, boop, 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 boop. So I got 25 plus 56 over 2. Okay? So usually what I'll do next is add these two numbers. So I have 5 plus or minus still, the square root of 81. Yeah, 81 over 2. Well, guess what? We're in luck. 81 is a perfect square, so I'll go ahead and take the square root of 81. So I get 5 plus or minus 9 over 2. When you get rid of your square root, or you simplify it to a point where you can't simplify it anymore, that's where you split your problem to a positive and a negative. So I'm going to do 5 plus 9 over 2, and 5 minus 9 over 2. So 5 plus 9 is 14. 14 divided by 2 is 7. 5 minus 9 is negative 4. Divided by 2, that's negative 2. There's your two answers. So these are two different ways that we're working on right now on solving a quadratic. Okay? Don't forget we have a quiz tomorrow, so make sure you know the basics of each one of these, as well as the solving by taking the square root. I'll see y'all tomorrow.